Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to try to make this a real quick one. Man, I'm having a tough time keeping the video short. Brought in another box of tools. Nothing special here, but before we get there, if you recall, these things were attached to a piece of metal that I said didn't look right. And I said I thought it might be the Spokeshave blade. Well, guess what? It is the Spokeshave blade. And I can see why they repurposed it. It's because they couldn't get the Spokeshave to work right anymore because it is worn in here. So one way to fix that is to cut this and fit in either another piece of hardwood or a piece of brass and shape it so that the cutting edge matches that perfectly, and then you can put this back in service. And how these were adjusted, where you just tap them. That's how they were adjusted. So it would be better to have them a little higher than down low. So that could probably use easily an 1/8 piece of brass in there. So on to some of the goodies that were in this box. There were 2 marking gauges, nothing fancy, but they do have the wooden turn buttons, and they are marked. They need a good cleaning. The difference between these two is this one has a slit and a screw to hold the pin in place. This one is just held by friction. So this would have been a cheaper tool. This would be slightly more expensive. So they're perfectly usable, just need to be cleaned up. There were some molding planes and one molding body without a cutting iron. So in brief, not to give you a long dissertation, but there are a lot of things you need to do when looking at buying molding planes. One of the first things I do is sight down them. You're looking for 2 things. You're looking at the profile. Well, actually 3 things. You're looking for warp. You're looking at the profile, and you're looking to see if the cutter matches the profile perfectly. Now, if you get past those, the next thing you really need to do is you need to inspect the wedge and the cutting iron. Now, how to remove a cutting iron from a molding plane? You do not whack on the back of the plane, nor the top, nor the back corner, nor the front. You don't do that. If the molding plane has a tapered cutting iron, you tap on the cutting iron to loosen it from the wedge. Then you pull the wedge out, and then you remove your cutter. And then you inspect your cutting iron. The key thing is this area, the flat, has to be no pits, no rust pits. This one has something which I don't know what it is. It almost looks like there's solder on it, but I don't know what that is. But usually the profile is ground or filed to match the body, and then honed one time with a stone. Then the back is lapped flat to keep it sharp. Very rarely do you go back in and reshape the bevel because you'll be changing the profile. To reinsert, You make sure that this back straight edge is properly resting on the body, okay, of the plane. You push it back in a little bit further than the profile or the sole. You insert your wedge modestly, and then you tap up your cutting iron until it meets your profile. Then and only then you start tightening your wedge. It's far easier, take it from me, it's far easier to continue to lightly tap your iron forward than it is to have to take the whole thing apart again and start from scratch, because you can't get it to go, well, you can get it to go back slightly. One way is you take it to your bench like this and you just give it a, and it will also back up a little bit, but you don't want to hit this with a mallet or a hammer. Then in the box was this. This, my friends, this chunk of steel or iron is a broadaxe. And can't quite make out the name. We'll have to clean that up a little bit. But a broadaxe, as opposed to an axe, is an axe that has a flat back and one bevel. And it is not used for felling trees. It is not used for limbing trees. It is used primarily to flatten the sides of timbers, and that's what they call hewn. You hew your timbers flat. And that's what the broadaxe was made for. And if you notice, the eye is offset so that you can put your handle also, which is offset, away from the log. So this would have been a right-hander's broadaxe. So that's all that was in this box. I hope something was useful, helpful, educational, nothing entertaining here today. So we got the mystery of the Spokeshave resolved. Now I just have to fine tune it. And all of these molding planes I don't need. In fact, I didn't actually want them. What I wanted was this, and they mailed it to me with all of this included. So I'll find somebody who wants them. Like, subscribe, and share. Head out to your workshop. Walter out.